right, everybody. My name's Benny, aka Benny LeBlanc, aka Benny Has a Heart On, and I play for APG Access Pro Gamers in Kingdom 1804. Now, with that being said, I'm just going to kind of give you down a little bit of my history, and I've never done any type of video game content in the past. This is really my first rodeo here. Now, I've done videos like this for work, and I was showing some of the guys that I play with, and they had mentioned that there could be some value in making some Rise of Kingdoms content. It could bring some additional visibility to APG, and you know what? I'm a team player. I'm willing to give it a go. Now, as far as what to expect with content on here, I can't tell you that this is going to be about some of the new tips and tricks and where you learn some of the new hottest things about Rise of Kingdoms. I'm fairly new at this game, and I'm running into KVK2. This account that you see here is my first account. I started this game right around in March. I think I'm right around the 200-day mark. And with that, what you guys can expect is I wanted this to be more of like I guess you'd say, consider it more like a vlog, where things are geared around being able to show you guys what's happening with some of the new events, show you guys hopefully some exciting stuff, some cities getting zeroed, some battles, some warfare. We're in KVK2, about to open up the level 4 passes, so hopefully some excitement's coming soon. And really just to kind of break down the day-to-day gaming. And with that, that's not to say they won't get value, because we all know that this is a copycat type game where you watch others and you pick up tips and tricks, and you always gain knowledge from that. I've been in several alliances, and I can say that I've learned different things from every alliance. So there's certainly still some value here, but that's what you guys can expect going forward. So in this video, I'm really just going to kind of break down where we're at. I'm going to talk a little bit about my account, going to touch base on APG and who Access Pro Gaming is, and then we'll take a look at the KVK2 layout, who we're playing this KVK2 season, and what it's looking like for us. So without any kind of further ado, let's go ahead and move it on. Alright guys, so I wanted to kick this off talking a little bit about my account so you guys see where I'm coming from. So as I mentioned before, I'm out here in Kingdom 1804 right now, running into KVK2. Last KVK, I actually participated with 1805. We had an abysmal KVK, and just kind of bumped heads with some of the leadership there, and felt as though going into KVK2 it was going to be a repeat. And so we had migrated out to 1804, me and a bunch of the guys that I played with. And that is when I met APG, and I met a lot of these awesome guys. Actually got to fight against them when they won KVK in Kingdom 1803. So it's all really kind of a small world, so to speak. And just to, talking about small world, one of the interesting things is KVK2, we get to play Kingdom 1805 again. So not gonna lie, I'm pretty stoked about that. I can't wait to reach out and touch somebody. So with that being said, if you look at my account, really I'm working with about a 70 million power account, running about 53 million kills, almost 30 million T4 kills, and almost 3 million T5 kills. I would expect the T5 kills to spike this KVK2, just being the fact there's more shiny T5 running around the map. And with that, if I gave you guys one goal for this KVK, outside of winning KVK of course, is I want to end KVK with more kills than I have power. So with that being said, I hope that provides some type of evidence that there's going to be some good content coming out, especially when it comes down to fighting and when it comes down to battles. And I can tell you that I injected a lot of money into this account early. I was part of that whole little COVID thing, so in March I just downloaded this game, got hooked, and started just sinking money into it. And I made a strong push going into KVK1, had some of the T5 unlocked for KVK1, and since then I really had to adjust the way I played, and I have to play a little bit smarter, so it's a lot more budgeting, buying packs when there's some promotions going on, or there's some special bundles, but not buying packs all the time, and being able to save speed ups, being able to save gems, and just really being able to save up everything so that when I need it, it's there. So as you guys can see, I've tried to keep a little bit of a stash for the battles going on. I've got some gems there that I've been saving up as well. Speed up wise, didn't get all my building speed ups traded in. We hit that 200 cap. And then as you look here, I saved some of the universal speed ups for healing, because again, I'm hoping to get out there and touch somebody in this KVK. Outside of that, really, working with some, fairly basic commanders, going into KVK2, I've got all the ones that have really come out to this point. Outside of that, have nothing really special. We can see that a few of those are expertise. The latest one is Alexander the Great, which still working on him. I'm infantry based, so I'm super excited about him. As you guys can see, I still got a little ways to go, and right now I'm just held up on the gold stars. That's what's holding me up from getting him to level 60. So once that's done, I hope I've saved enough of these XP books to get a really solid push, and I expect to get some here soon with all the KVK rewards. But outside of that, that's really the breakdown of my account. You guys kind of see where I'm coming from. I'm trying to prep in here for a very long and grueling KVK. One can only hope that, our opponents stay in battle for a long period of time so we can get out there, we can grind, and we can hustle. And with that, I kind of want to transition over to the Alliance at APG and talk about the kind of value they bring as a whole. Okay, so let's talk about APG Access Pro Gamers. First off, let me start with the fact that there's a reason that I came to 1804, right? I had found out that APG was migrating from 1803 and was headed to 1804. And now I can tell you on KVK1, one thing that I admired and respected was the way that they fought, right? These guys, they were warriors, right? And so with that, when I made that migration, this was the first place I looked to go join. And fortunately, everything worked out. I became part of APG, and then somehow I became R4. I don't know how that happened. I actually told myself I'd never do R4 again, but hey, here I am. And the reason that I joined is just because of the type of gameplay that they have. Again, I might have said this before, but there's some alliances that have a lot of power, right? They just blow up power. They collect their troops. They collect commanders. They collect resources. But one thing about APG is they collect bodies. It's all about kill count. It's all about being able to go out there and sustain yourself in battle and just truly dominate the battlefield. And for me, that's my type of gameplay, and it's something that I find really exciting. Now, when we start looking at some of the guys here, it's very important to note that some of these guys also have some YouTube content out there. One of those guys being Apocalypse. If you guys haven't seen Apocalyptic Gaming, man, that guy, he's pretty awesome. He did a lot of content last KVK for 1803. He's doing videos again now. I would recommend checking him out. And I believe we have some other guys out there too that are doing content. But when we look at some of the players, the thing is I can't just name them all off just because, man, this is going to be a 20-minute video if we go that route. But some of the guys I want to highlight, for one, is the king, Hades, right? This guy is a monster. I mean, really, he's a beast. I don't think you're going to find many players that get out there and can push power like him and have that type of mind frame to go out there and dominate. One thing that really set it off for me was we were going into KVK2, and the pre-KVK events, we ramp up, you do the troop training, so on and so forth. I think Hades was running around 111 million in power. And as you guys see here on the very top, within 30 minutes, this man had ramped up to 150 power. He's got the ability to go out there and absolutely smash folks. He's got some amazing commanders, and I'm sure that during this KVK, you'll see a lot of them. And I can also tell you that my migration here to 1804, one of the other big factors was playing behind leaders that I felt could practice what they preach. And it's something that I couldn't get in 1805. And it's not just Hades here. There's a rotation between Wong, Naked Garfield, and Hades, and all three of those guys can reach out and touch somebody. And they're all three tremendous players, and it's one of the great things about 1804, one of the things that I'm excited about going into KVK2. As you guys can see here, we got a lot of power also with Kiss My Crit. We got a lot going in there with this Yazuka kid who is really prominent in KVK1. Vader's been awesome. He's been amazing to play with. Gorilla Pipe, one of the other main leaders there, he's super intelligent. He is a guy that can break down just about everything. He's got spreadsheets on power and whatnot. He's really, he's broke down the RSS cost for all the flags that are being built and what we can spend on and what we can't spend Alliance resources on. He's very, very analytical, which is important to have that in your Alliance. And with that, you guys can see we got a bunch of other power out there as well. A lot of guys out there that have really pushed themselves. And the thing that I'm proudest the most about APG is if we look at our rankings, right? again, you can go to alliance power. And what do we have? We have an alliance from Kingdom 1805 that is running 8.5 billion in power. It looks pretty strong, right? And APG, we're sitting there at number 5 with 7 million power. But this is what I believe truly stands out, is when we look at total kills, we look at the ability to go out there and touch somebody. Well, you know, APG is by far in the number 1 spot with almost 8 billion in total kills. And so these guys, they're absolutely amazing to play with. But with that being said, what we're going to move over now is taking a look at what we're doing in KVK2. So, KVK2, guys, as you guys know, KVK is one of the most exciting parts of Rise of Kingdoms. I would say that most kingdoms are spending all of their time outside of KVK preparing for KVK. And so, with that being said, we are super hyped up over here. You know, we've already went through the pre-KVK events. So 1804 did come up number 1 in those. So we got the damage boost on there that's going to help us out tremendously as we carry on through Kingdom versus Kingdom. We're now in the past glory events where we've got the Crusader Fortress and we've already went through and donated the resources. We're almost there in regards to the barbarians. We're almost at it, which then goes to my favorite stage, which is recycling all these heads that have been sitting around collecting dust. And so super excited about that. And by the way, it's worth noting too that, my goodness, there are a lot of events going on right now. Between this Halloween event, the recharge event, which, you know, you guys see here, between the KVK's events going on, there's a lot of gold heads floating around right here. It is a great time to be playing. So I'm super stoked about that. There's so many opportunities to grab some gold heads. But as far as where we're at right now, you guys can see the whole layout for KVK is going to be 1804, we got 1791, 1794, 1799, 1801, 1805, 1817, and 1824. And I know that was just all rambled out there. You guys probably didn't pick that up. But this is the group that we're playing against. And again, my favorite right there, 1805. Man, I can't wait. I can't wait to get out there and touch those guys. They're on the other side of the map, though, so unfortunately, I'm hoping they stay in the game long enough for us to get to them. Last KVK, everything kind of quit out before those passes opened, so one can only hope. One can only hope. But really, this is the layout for KVK. Everything's looking good for us. You know, first place in total honor. I believe that, you know, we've got some solid alliances going into this KVK. You know, I'm not privy to all the details and information, but what I can tell you is I trust thoroughly those who are in those conversations, and I believe we got a very strategic plan, and I think everything's already been kind of predetermined and calculated. Now, I know things have the ability to go wild and go crazy, but what I would say is I don't think that APG will ever be underprepared for that. So, looking forward to KVK. I think it's going to be an amazing time, and with that, I really don't have anything else for this intro video. Hopefully I'll put some more stuff together here in the near future, but I kind of wanted to throw this together and see how this all works and see how it all functions and get some feedback from some of my peers. So thank you guys for watching, and you guys have a good one.